My daughter was playing at the park when a stranger grabbed her arm and yanked her off the slide. I sprinted over. What are you doing? Let go of my daughter. The woman looked me up and down. Let me guess. You're a teen mom? I didn't know where she was going with that, but then she continued. That's right. I can tell straight away because it's clear your child needs help. Her skin is gray, her eyes are sunken in, and I can see her skin is extremely dry. You're a child raising a child. I'm taking her to get the help she needs. I was young when I had her, but I wasn't a teen mom anymore. I can take care of my daughter perfectly fine. Let her go. She pulled out her phone to dial 911. I pulled my daughter away from her. Don't touch my child, the woman screamed. Did everyone see that? Did you see how she just grabbed her child? A police officer walking nearby came over. What's going on here? The woman pointed at my daughter. Officer, look at this child. She's gray, she's malnourished, and this girl is too young to be raising her. The officer looked at my daughter, then at me. Ma'am, how old are you? That's not relevant. My daughter is not neglected. She has a medical condition. The woman laughed. A medical condition? Yay, right. Every neglectful parent always has an excuse. Other moms started gathering. One of them said, I see them come here all the time. That child always looks sick. Another one shook her head. She doesn't look old enough to be a mother. Everyone at this park was against me. The officer pulled me aside. Ma'am, I'm going to have to call CPS to come evaluate the situation. I felt my whole body go cold. My daughter tugged on my shirt. Mommy, are they taking me away? I had tears in my eyes, and I didn't even know what to say. It's okay, Mommy. I know what to do. That's when my amazing daughter turned to everyone and pulled her hat off and showed her shaven, bald head. My mommy didn't do anything wrong. I have cancer. She brings me here after chemo to make me feel like a normal kid again. She held up her wrist, a hospital bracelet. Everyone gasped. I looked at the woman. By the way, while you were busy trying to take my daughter, yours fell off the monkey bars 5 minutes ago. She turned around. Her daughter was on the ground crying. A girl walked into my salon with a man twice her size. Buzz every hair off her head. As she sat down, I could tell her hair hadn't been washed in weeks. What are we doing today, sweetheart? But just as she opened her mouth, he stepped forward. I already told you what we're doing today. You have 20 minutes, then we're leaving no matter what. We have somewhere to be. I tilted the girl's head back over the basin and lifted the hair off her forehead. Written across her skin in black Sharpie were 2 words. Help me. I let the water run and kept my hands moving, but everything in my body locked up. The girl locked eyes with me like I was the last person on earth who could save her. But the man was watching us from 15 feet away. I had 17 minutes to call the police. I stepped away from the basin and pretended to grab a towel when really I was trying to get to my phone. I got 3 steps before he looked up from his chair and looked suspicious, so I grabbed the towel rack instead. 15 minutes. The girl lifted up her sleeves to show me her hands covered in scars, and I knew something was very, very wrong. I quickly grabbed a receipt and scribbled, "Call the police." I tried to pass it to the receptionist, but the man called out from his chair, "What did you just hand her?" The receptionist froze, looked at the note, looked at the man. "Yeah, what are you doing?" she asked, completely oblivious. "Oh, I just wanted you to throw this out for me." She threw it away without reading it. 12 minutes. He stood up. "How much longer?" I held up a chunk of matted hair. "These knots go all the way to the root. If I rush this, it'll rip her skin open." He sat back down, but moved his chair closer to us. I leaned in to adjust her cape, and she whispered, "If we leave, I'm not coming back." 9 minutes. The back room was 20 steps behind me. I could get there and dial 911 in under a minute, but that meant leaving her alone with him. 6 minutes. I looked around the whole salon. Every stylist was with a client. The receptionist was on a call. Nobody was looking at us. I had nothing. 1 minute. He walked straight toward us. "Give me the clippers. I'll do it myself." But just as he reached past me toward the counter, the front door swung open. 2 officers barged in and followed the direction of my coworker, who was pointing straight at him. Every woman in that salon watched as he was escorted out in handcuffs. "How did you know to call the police?" The back of his neck had the Buddhist symbol of peace. The second the door closed behind him, the girl grabbed my arm with both hands and buried her face into my shoulder. When she finally pulled back, I took a warm cloth and wiped the Sharpie off her forehead. "He's gone. So what are we actually doing today?" She looked at herself in the mirror and her eyes filled up. "Can you just make it pretty?" During a flight, our plane started dipping, and a flight attendant immediately rushed down our aisle. "The pilot has collapsed. We're going down. Does anyone have any flying experience?" Every passenger began screaming, and I looked over at my 12-year-old son, blissfully playing his flight simulator with noise-canceling headphones. I pulled off his headphones and saw the model of the plane he was flying. It was the same as this one. I stood up with shaking legs. "My son can do it. He can land this plane." He looked at me. "I can?" I knelt down and took his hands, but a businessman shot out of his seat. "I'm not letting some kid with a Nintendo crash this plane into the ground." But his face turned white as we nosedived further, and the crew rushed us to the cockpit. My son climbed into the seat and pulled on the headset, shaking. I told him, "You got this, sweetheart. If anyone can do it, it's you." Air traffic control came over the radio. "Do you copy?" "Yes, copy." They paused as they realized they were guiding a child. "Okay, pull the thrust levers back to idle, set flaps to 30. But my son's hands were moving before they finished. "Flaps 30, idle, set." The runway came and an alarm blared as the whole plane shook. I gripped my son's shoulder. "You've got this, just like your game." But his eyes stayed locked ahead, his hands perfectly steady. The wheels slammed. The plane shuddered. The cabin screamed. We rolled to a dead stop. Everyone erupted into sobbing and cheering. The businessman sat with his face in his hands, crying. My son calmly took off the headset and turned to me. "That was a little rough on the flare. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 difficulty based on my game." My mom looked me in the eyes and said, "If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would even notice." Everyone laughed. I raised my hot dog and said, "Challenge accepted." That night, I packed 2 suitcases and left my key on the kitchen counter. No note, no goodbye. I'd spent 29 years organizing every holiday, baking every birthday cake, and cleaning up after everyone while they took selfies without me in them. I moved 3 hours away to a cabin by the lake and blocked every number in my phone. First week, my phone stayed silent, exactly like Mom predicted. Week 2, my brother tried calling 47 times. Nobody could figure out how to work the washing machine I'd been fixing for years. He ended up buying new underwear instead of learning the spin cycle. Week 3, my sister showed up at my old job crying and begging my coworkers for my number. She couldn't figure out how to renew her car registration, the same one I'd been handling since she was 16. She'd never even been to the DMV. Month 2, my dad missed his blood pressure medication for 3 weeks straight because nobody remembered his refill schedule. He ended up in urgent care. The doctor asked if he had any family support at home. He just stared at the floor. By month 3, my mom had a full breakdown when she realized I'd been handling every birthday, every anniversary, and every doctor appointment for the entire family. She hired a professional organizer for $200 a week to do what I'd done for free my entire adult life. The organizer quit after 2 weeks because Mom kept telling her to just handle it the way I used to. Meanwhile, I was taking pottery classes by the lake and sleeping in past 7 for the first time in my life. Mom finally tracked down my number and called sobbing. "We fell apart without you. Your father can't find his own socks. Your brother flooded the laundry room trying to fix the washer." I listened to her cry. The same woman who told me no one would notice. Challenge completed, Mom, and I hung up. Turns out people do notice when you disappear. They just never bothered to notice when you're there doing everything for them. I opened the door for my Amazon delivery driver. "Do you live here alone?" I immediately got a bad feeling because most men only ask that to see if they can attack you, so I lied. "No, I live here with my boyfriend. He just went out for groceries, but he'll be back at any second now." He looked past me into my apartment. He spoke in broken English. "There's no boyfriend here, I think. I think you lie. I think you live alone." I just wanted him to leave, so I reached for the package. "Okay, thanks, bye." He pulled the package back. Wait, I was extremely scared and didn't care about the package anymore. I just wanted him to leave, so I slammed the door and turned the deadbolt thinking that would solve the problem. But 15 minutes later, when I peeked through the blinds, his white van was still parked outside my house. Our eyes met, and adrenaline started pumping through my body. I knew I needed to hide, so I dropped below the window. And that's when my phone buzzed with a text from the delivery driver. "Get in, delivery van. I show you something." Goosebumps ran down my arms. I was about to call the cops when a second text came in. "You not safe there alone. Please trust. Very urgent." I texted back, "Leave or I'm calling the police." That's when I heard footsteps in my bedroom. I was home alone, so I was convinced it was the Amazon delivery driver entering my home. I grabbed a kitchen knife and crept down the hall. I pushed my bedroom door open. When I opened it, I saw the Amazon delivery driver making his way through my window, still clutching my package. "Get out of my house!" I screamed, pointing the knife at his face. He raised his hands above his head. "Ma'am, I had to come inside. You left package outside." I couldn't understand what was going on. Why would he break into my home just to deliver a package? Was there a bomb inside it? A weapon? "Take it and crawl back out. I don't care about the package anymore." His shoulders slumped. He pointed at my floor. "You don't understand. Someone is here. You must get out. You are in danger." I still didn't know what was going on, but that's when I heard it. Multiple footsteps underneath my apartment. It sounded like there were dozens of people running around. Was the Amazon delivery driver in on it? I bolted into the guest room, slammed the door, and shoved the dresser against it. I dialed 911 and whispered to the operator, "There's a delivery driver invading my apartment." I stayed barricaded in my guest room until the cops arrived, but once they arrested the delivery driver, he pointed them towards the backyard, telling them to dig down. We were all extremely confused, but I needed to know what was going on. "Okay, let's do it." The cops dug for 10 minutes before their shovel had hit something hollow. They cleared the dirt off and pulled up a wooden hatch the size of a door. A ladder went straight down into the dark. We all climbed down, and right underneath my house was an entire apartment, a furnished apartment, with electricity stolen from my lines and plumbing tapped into mine. A family of 4 had been squatting there for months. The delivery driver explained everything. When he walked up to deliver my package, he had seen someone's face peek out from underground. The whole time he was trying to get me out of the house before something bad happened. "Delivery drivers, we protect customers." He shrugged and walked back to his van. When my husband offered to do the dishes, I immediately asked the kids to leave the room. Something was very wrong. We had been married for 10 years, and this man had never once voluntarily touched a sponge. My husband lunged across the table and grabbed my daughter's wrist. "Don't you dare go upstairs." His face was gray and his whole body was shaking. My daughter started crying and my husband turned to me. "We need to leave. Right now. Don't ask questions. Just get the kids to the car." He grabbed our son, I grabbed our daughter, and we moved toward the front door. My husband walked backward the whole way, eyes locked on the second floor landing. My daughter squirmed in my arms. "Mommy, I need my jacket. It's in my room." My husband grabbed her face in his hands. "You are never going in that room again." He took both kids and carried them out the front door. I followed, my legs barely working. We got the kids in the car and my hands were shaking so badly I could barely buckle my son's seatbelt. Then I looked back at the house. My daughter's bedroom light was on. I knew for a fact it had been off during dinner. My husband saw it too and floored it out of the driveway. He drove us miles away from home. Then he pulled over so fast we skidded. He started crying and handed me his phone without saying a word. On the screen was a photo of my daughter's bedroom taken from inside her closet. The photo was timestamped 1 hour ago, and below it was a text that read, "She's even prettier up close. Keep everyone but her downstairs." stairs. Tell her to be a good girl, do what I say, and stay quiet, or I'll show her what happens to little girls who scream. My husband called 911, and the police found the man still hiding in her closet 20 minutes later. He had been coming into our house for weeks. I was getting ready for bed when I noticed a hidden camera in my bedroom vent angled towards me, but I didn't scream or even go to check it out, and instead just went to sleep. You see, my older sister's boyfriend is a cop, and he'd told me before that most cases like this get thrown out because there's no hard evidence. You need undeniable proof. So when I woke up, I made a plan. First, I got changed while putting my makeup on in my bedroom like usual. It made me sick knowing I was being recorded, but I just kept trying on outfits like no one was watching. On my way home from school, I stopped into a tech store as well as a home store, and the second I was back in my bedroom, I made my move. I wrote "Found you" in black marker on a yellow sticky note, then climbed up to the hidden camera and stuck it over the lens. This was the first time I acknowledged it. While the camera was covered, I changed my bedsheet and put on the new bedsheet I'd just bought. I cut a hole in my mattress and hid the tiny security camera I'd got as well. I covered the lens with the new bedsheet, which I'd made sure was thick enough to mask the camera under it, but thin enough so the camera could still see through. I angled my camera towards the vent and went to bed, but not before turning the thermostat all the way up, so I could sleep without a duvet and not risk it covering the lens. I checked the next morning, and the camera in the vent was gone. I pulled off my bedsheets and took my own camera out, scrolling through to see who had been recording me. 3 hours into my sleep, someone came into frame. I recognized the cop uniform immediately. It was my older sister's boyfriend. I took the footage to the police and had him sentenced to 15 years. I was working at a marine park and had just thrown a fish to my sea lion during the show when I spotted the 3 girls who bullied me at school sitting in the front row. They always made fun of me for working at my mom's fish shop and said I smelled like the fish. And now that they'd found me, they immediately pointed at me and laughed. "Oh my gosh, mermaid girl, I didn't know you were working here." The leader of their group, Kelsey, had her phone pointed at me and started recording. The crowd around her started turning to look. Her 2 friends scooted forward against the splash zone railing. "This is so funny, I'm gonna pee myself." I tried my best to ignore them and focus on the performance. I faced my sea lion Bubba, and he did a flip in the air, and I threw a fish in his mouth. The crowd gave a round of applause. "Hey Bubba!" Kelsey leaned her whole body over the rail, holding her phone out, and started mocking me. "Is the mermaid girl your girlfriend? Because you're the only one who'd date her." Her friends doubled over laughing. Kelsey knelt on top of the safety rail to get a better angle to film me. If someone fell in this tank right now, that dumb sea lion would just watch them drown. He's too dumb to know the difference. She turned to wink at her friends, and just as she did, she started losing her balance. She stuck both her hands in the air and flailed them around, but it wasn't enough to save her. Splash! She fell over backwards into the tank. She came up screaming, "I can't swim!" She slapped the water. Her orange iPhone floated to the top of the water. She tried to escape by clawing at the smooth glass side of the tank, but it didn't work. Through the glass, I could see her arms thrashing, slower each time. I was the only lifeguard on duty. Her friends screamed, "Do something! Save her!" For a second, I paused and wondered if I should just let her drown, but I didn't. Instead, I whistled. Bubba launched off the platform. One push, and he shot down to her underwater. He clamped her hoodie in his teeth and pushed her up with his nose. He shoved her toward me at the edge of the tank. I grabbed her under the armpits and hauled her up onto the deck. The crowd went silent. I picked the towel off the rail and dropped it on her chest. Guess he wasn't too dumb after all. Bubba hauled himself onto the deck beside me and shook off. Water sprayed across Kelsey and the dry towel I just dropped on her. I tossed him his fish. Good boy.